Welcome, beloved brothers and sisters of joy and peace. Beloved friends, cherished companions, dear friends from Gozo y Paz. May the Eternal bless you and keep you. I am your servant, Dr. Javier Palacios Celorio, live from the Gozo y Paz congregation, well, from the studio we have, because the congregation is now virtual. I am going to present an extraordinary final stretch. That extraordinary final stretch is a warning. We're going to see some very important things. Please let everyone know. Well, today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024 in the Gregorian calendar. It's currently 6 p.m. in central Mexico. Go ahead and give it a like, because that way, I don't monetize the videos, but this way YouTube recommends it as an important video, and this is extremely important, right? Because it is biblical prophecy, but relevant to current events with everything that happened yesterday in the United States of America. Remember, I don't monetize the videos. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications, because there's really not much time left, very little time indeed. Well, I'm still actively promoting the Eschatological magazine, okay? Here is the QR code that you can scan with your device, okay? And here on the right side is the QR code for the previous magazine, which is Find Your Salvation Fast. And look, it really is fast, especially with everything that's happening. At the back of the magazine, there are several fascinating topics related to restoration. Well, extraordinary final stretch. It is very important. Remember, just a reminder that this coming Friday, the day after tomorrow, we will start at 15 minutes to 6 in the evening, Central Time in Mexico, the Siddur, the order of the Shabbat service. Why are we learning about constellations? We are currently studying them because the blood moons are approaching soon. And it is very important that we understand everything that the Eternal is already warning us from heaven, okay? I continue to keep all the requests you share in my prayers, beloved brothers, sisters, and dear friends. Well, extraordinary final stretch. Alert. I apologize for my slightly hoarse voice today, but I'll do my best to ensure that the ministration, the teaching or news we present is clear and understandable for everyone. We all know that there is already as a winner of the presidency of the United States of North America, Donald Trump once again for the second time, shall we say, right? Well, what statements should we take into account? That Donald Trump has made? Donald Trump has stated that he plans to implement biometric control measures concerning immigration, and you all understand the implications of this, but I am unable to discuss it further. Number two, he has stated that he is determined to put an end to all wars once and for all. He said, pay close attention to the campaign and the transition. Well, not the transition because it won't happen until January. But during the celebrations in his acceptance speech as the new winner, he boldly declared that he would put an end to all wars. Listen carefully, listen attentively, because this information has just reached us. It was reported just 3 hours ago. That is why I mentioned the specific time we are broadcasting, which is 6 in the evening, Central Time in Mexico. 3 hours ago, Israel officially declared that in 2 weeks, it intends to withdraw its forces from Lebanon. How do you see it? Israel announced just 3 hours ago its decision to withdraw its military presence from Lebanon within a time frame of 2 weeks, or at most within 2 weeks. Yes, it's over. 2, the Tesla factory will no longer be built in Mexico. Elon Musk said that they were going to build the factory, but they would wait until after the elections. Well, since Donald Trump won, that project is now cancelled. The Tesla factory will no longer be built in Mexico. Now, why did I choose to include these 2 specific examples? The one about Israel withdrawing, etc., etc. Because if those situations have already begun to occur, and it's happening not even a full day after he has been elected, while he is still not officially serving as president in charge, not even a single day, what other things could happen? And then these events will happen, as Revelation states, soon, very soon. Now, in the news reports, it has come to light that the NATO has responded in a nervous manner, indicating that they have reacted with concern and fear. Look, let's talk in terms of money. It's all the same. Now, there were indeed celebrations. What I'm saying right now is completely real. There were celebrations for Donald Trump's victory in Iran, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Lebanon. The Prime Minister of Iraq, pay attention to this, has just sent his congratulations to Donald Trump, right? For successfully having won the presidency of the United States. Now, for the month of July, we present, or a little earlier, the final stretch 139. Look at that final stretch, 139, brothers and friends. There I, in the form of a question, titled it, "Has the Messiah awaited by the Jews arrived?" Did the Messiah expected by the Jews arrive? But right now, let's remember something. Just a little bit about that final stretch, 139. Look at that final stretch. In the initial segment of the final stretch, I delve into all of this information, and then comes the participation of the beloved Roeh discussing the blackout that occurred. But I'm mainly interested in you seeing the first part, or seeing everything, right? Now, what statements has Donald Trump already made? He has decided to withdraw his military forces, specifically the United States Army, from all those various areas located in the Middle East region. Now, once in power, now the question is, for what purpose? I mean, prophetically, for what purpose? Well, this situation is going to provide Russia, China, and the Islamic State a clear and unobstructed path directly to Israel. That is the reality. Now, some rabbis, and I would say quite a few rabbis, claim that Donald Trump represents a messianic figure. From the final stretch of 139, which I had previously discussed, we are now going to make a readjustment of the ideas. As news continually unfolds, time progressively passes, time goes by, news happens, and we are beginning to form an idea thanks to the eternal through the Bible. And the help, of course, from Yahshua HaMashiach, his blessed Spirit. Well, they already referred to him as the Messiah of Edom. Now, is this because Esau was a redhead, right? And Jacob was not. So the descendants of Esau, including Amalek, pay attention, okay? And that's where Donald Trump comes from. It has been said in many media outlets that he will rebuild the third temple. But all of that has been said by Kabbalistic rabbis, and remember that Kabbalah is a lie. And watch a video we uploaded a long time ago, why not Kabbalah? I believe it was approximately around the year 2010 that the video was uploaded. Why not the Kabbalah? Now please understand, there are certain things I simply won't be able to disclose here, and you know why that is. But what I can share is that he made the Abraham Accords be signed. Don't forget that he comes from Amalek. His lineage is German, not American. In other words, while the United States was established by English migrants, his background is rooted in German descent. Well now, he has declared his position regarding the the supposed attacks against him that are intended to take his life, right? Regarding the assassination attempts, he has declared, God saved my life in order to save the United States of America. Now, on the Israeli television networks, on one of the most influential television channels in Israel, if I may say so. They toasted there, the commentators and others celebrated to the victory of Donald Trump. Now let it be clear and understood, I didn't have as a candidate, so to speak, to Kamala Harris at all. But not Donald Trump either, biblically speaking. Now pay close attention, listen very carefully. In several teachings that I have humbly shared with you, I have stated that Revelation 17 speaks of religious Babylon, while Revelation 18 focuses on the political Babylon, right? That there are two leaders. So each of those Babylonians belongs to their leader. Well, the idea is that if you see, for example, Revelation, let's go there so you can discern it, because many have told me, well, this could be the anti-Messiah, there is a high probability. You recognized him as the Antichrist, and at this moment Christianity in the United States and across the globe. We are going to see some things. They are practically surrendered at the feet of Donald Trump. Be careful with that. Now, Daniel chapter 11, Daniel chapter 11. Please turn to your Bible and open it to Daniel chapter 11, verse 36. Say here, "And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak horrendous blasphemies against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done." Well, we already saw that it talks about the Antichrist as such, indicating that it is making a direct reference to Pope Francis. Gog and Magog, watch the video, it's already here. Now let me explain why I say this. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump, because in 37 it says, "Of the God of their fathers, to him Francisco was declared a Jew of Jews. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, specifically Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Neither shall he regard, nor the desire of women." There you have Pope Francis, not Donald Trump, who is the complete opposite. "Nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all." Now the 38, "But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces." Note there mausin, which means brutality or violence, okay? "And a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things." In other words, there are several things to understand. There are two leaders. One is the religious leader, and there is the Pope already. And two, there must be a politician, and there is a lot of attention. There is a strong possibility, but just as we will see next, that this Donald Trump could be the Antichrist. Let's wait to see what the Eternal says. A few hours ago, I was very struck by the fact that in a meeting this morning that Donald Trump held with a diverse group of Christians from various denominations, they were singing a Christian hymn that is, I would say, very beautiful. The hymn is called "How Great Thou Art." Well, the idea here is that Donald Trump is present while all the Christians surrounding him are singing that hymn together. But who exactly were they singing to? To God the Almighty or to him? Take a moment to notice the seriousness of this matter. How great thou art. It doesn't say in the Bible what they will say, and right now we're going to see. So you understand, don't disconnect, let others know to join in. And in it, the same Bible says that many will say later, "Who is like the beast, and who can fight against it?" Now, let's take a look at some photographs and see just how interesting all of this truly is. Look, it states right there that Trump's surprising victory was believed to be sent by God to initiate the messianic process according to certain rabbis. To clarify, it is important to note that this particular news item originates from November 9th of the year 2016. Did it look good? Yes? However, that situation had already been in existence since the previous period, brothers. Then Trump's unexpected victory was sent by God to initiate the messianic process. The rabbis say, November 9th, 2016. Do you realize? This isn't something that just happened recently. It has been a good few years already since then. Now let's continue. Now, a prominent Ukrainian rabbi stated on May 12, 2018, right? Inaugurates a heartfelt prayer for Trump's political success, which took place in the year 2018. They were already present there, but just take a look at what this rabbi is holding, okay? On the neck area, well, let's move on to the next. Well, Donald Trump, the Messiah ben David, who says so? Several rabbis. And the sum of either of them is 424 in gematria, which means that Donald Trump would reach the presidency in the year 2024. There it is. Donald Trump, like the Messiah ben David. All that data is better explained in the final stretch 139, beloved brothers, sisters, friends, and companions of Gozo y Paz. Shall we continue? This is an important video, so please pay close attention and do not film it at all. If you wish to film it, feel free to do so, but please note that it will be officially recorded on the channel. Well, let's see.
American evangelicals, along with other staunch Trump supporters, leave no doubt in their minds that real shots must have been fired at Trump. The protective hand of God was upon him, said the president of the influential evangelistic association, Billy Graham. The unsuccessful assassination attempt significantly aided specific religious groups in declaring Trump as both a martyr and a messiah figure. Rabbi Isser Salman Weisberg, who serves as a writer for the Javad Lubavitch Media Center, among several other platforms, delivered a detailed religious analysis of Trump's recent attack in a compelling video message on July 24, 2024. The right ear of presidential candidate Trump was wounded as a symbolic gesture, according to Exodus 21, verse 6. It is said that the deer wishing to stay with its master must have its right ear pierced. Trump was ordained as a servant and anointed of God, just like Cyrus the Great nearly 2,400 years ago. Weisberg continues to state that the ultimate deadline for the rescue will be on October 2, 2027, which falls during Donald Trump's term. He has good reasons to believe that Donald Trump has been chosen to offer his help in the reconstruction of the sacred temple in Jerusalem and the establishment of the Jewish kingdom over the entire world.
Well, it's shocking, isn't it? How did you see? Has he been anointed by God? Well, then there are two Babylons, Revelation 17, Revelation 18. The 17th is the religious one, and Revelation 18 is the political one, okay? Everyone with their leader. Now, what truly catches my attention is that it mentioned this rabbi or this more. Because the only rabbi for me is Yeshua HaMashiach, October 2nd, 2027. The final deadline for the rescue, but the rescue of what exactly? So what rescue is he talking about? Well, the point is that this Torah teacher, or rather Kabbalist, is also mentioning the reconstruction of the third sacred temple in Jerusalem. And the restoration, watch out for that, the restoration of the kingdom, but for Jews above all the world. I am pro-Israel, I want to make that clear. But we know there will be a deception. Now, let's take a look at the following photographs. An evangelical pastor predicted with remarkable accuracy the attack that would be directed against Donald Trump. I highly recommend that you take the time to watch the video. We uploaded a video a while ago about whether it was fake or not. I'm going to mention it now. Let's continue. Well, there you see several photographs that we presented in the final stretch of 139, making a comparison and the similarity for many, but not for us, between Jesus Christ and Donald Trump. There you have it. Take a look at the middle photograph featuring the distinctive cross and the vibrant red tie of the Freemasons. Terrible, isn't it? We presented that in the final stretch, 139. Shall we continue? Trump secures a sweeping victory in the city, which holds significant importance due to having the highest percentage of Arab residents in the entire United States, while Harris falls behind an environmental candidate. So here he swept through a city entirely of Arabs. Trump won decisively. Shall we continue? Donald Trump wins decisively in Michigan's most prominent Arab city. Tremendous. November 6, 2024, we are talking about today. Shall we continue? Well, the Trump administration will implement a biometric system to record the entries and exits of foreigners in the country. That was on July 14th, 2017. What won't he do now? Please let's carefully pay attention to all of those. Whoso readeth, let him understand, and between the lines. Shall we continue? Allow me to put on a different pair of glasses. Many people have told me that God saved my life for a reason, Trump said. And that reason was to save our country and restore true greatness to the United States, and now we will fulfill that mission together. Tremendous. He mentioned that yesterday which was November 5th in the year 2024. Shall we continue? Trump asserts that he has a surprising plan ready to effectively end the ongoing war in Ukraine. What will that surprise be? Well, let's continue. The significant concern in the European Union is that Donald Trump may win the presidency again and subsequently cut all aid to Ukraine. And the fact is that the European Union without the United States is nothing, brothers. I have talked about this with our beloved Roeh Luis. The European Union is super fragmented, completely in pieces, so that it can be understood. Shall we continue? The European Union and NATO extend their congratulations to Trump while attempting to mask their underlying concerns. But I tell you, it's the same. They must eat barbecue together at night. Shall we continue? Scholz calls on the European Union, that is Germany, to unite, but if in Trump's victory he calls for unity, it suggests that such unity might actually indicate deeper divisions than ever before. Shall we continue? I'm going to end wars, proclaims Trump after his victory. Today, November 6th, that news just arrived. Tremendous. Promise peace. Shall we continue? Trump promises to bring lasting peace to the tumultuous Middle East, but it won't be easy. And the news is from today, November 6th, right? Tremendous. Shall we continue? And look at what I was saying earlier. I will clarify this for you right now. Focus on me for a brief moment. What I mentioned 3 hours ago, though now it's actually been 4 hours, was that Israel has officially announced that we will be withdrawing from Lebanon in 2 weeks' time. Why? Who told them or what? Well, of course. Who do you think Donald Trump is? That is to say, the whole system then. Well, let's move on. The world in 2017. Look over there. Those are tarot cards. Now let's take a moment to look at the card very calmly. With a lot of calm. To begin with, I want to tell you that Donald Trump is a Jesuit, that Pope Francis is a Jesuit, that Donald Trump is sponsored by the Rothschilds, and in the tarot cards, let's put it in big letters, that's it. In this image, you can see two cards displayed. Logically, the card positioned on top features Donald Trump. The second card, from the left to right, depicts Trump as the one who is going to make judgment. Trump as the one who is going to make judgment. And it's that Trump has to do with trumpet. The trumpets of Revelation. He doesn't know it, but the Eternal One has everything planned. For he is the one who removes and establishes kings, as stated in the book of Daniel. Now what do you think? He's wearing a crown and holding the scepter, right? Sitting in the world. And it's practically a mockery, because the Eternal declares that the earth serves as the footstool beneath his feet. So over there in that section, look closely, there's the crown, the scepter, and that's from the year 2017, brothers. What will it be now? Everything else refers to all the various events that have been occurring in the world. The card shown below is a tarot card, and it signifies, let's take a closer look, it represents the magician, symbolizing the one who performs magic. These are not tarot classes, and I personally do not have an interest in pursuing that further. But supposedly in tarot, it's about what happens, or rather what exists, let's say, in the cards, and what will happen in the future, which ultimately only Yahweh truly knows. But I can't express many things clearly. Well, but think about the number 8. Do you remember the magician? I already explained that. So here in tarot, when they read the cards to people, they tell them what comes out and read their future. In quotes, it's pure magic. That shouldn't be, and we shouldn't seek it, but that's why they took this photograph, meaning, no, the magician, the one who is going to do magic, the one who is going to end wars, right? The one who is going to do this, the one who is going to do the other. And we're going to see it again up there. There he is enthroned. Let's see it. He is seated as the world's ruler. That's from 2017, brothers. What could it be now? For the Prime Minister of Iraq to have already congratulated him, so watch out for that. Well, let's continue. Celebrations in Iran, there you have it, Iraq, Yemen, and Lebanon, right? Their towns will finally be free. That is to say, let me see, here's the thing, please take a moment to look at me. Do you recall that famous historical photograph we discussed? And we have been managing this for many years. Since the dance of the swords, when Donald Trump went to Saudi Arabia, and from there he went to Israel to pray at the Western Wall. And there he is putting his hands on a crystal ball, right? With Saudi Arabia, etc., as the owners of the world, so to speak. However, it is quite obvious that there is someone in authority above Donald Trump, as that is logical. Well, now we continue. Breaking news, Trump's victory has caused alarm and a grim sense of determination in Kyiv, particularly in Zelensky. But they're all fundamentally the same, brother. Don't fall for it. Well, I can't say much more, but you can definitely imagine. It causes alarm. Terrible, isn't it? Are they really alarmed? Shall we continue? Well, you see, that really caught my attention because in the Polish parliament, right? The politicians present there as if it were the Chamber of Deputies in Mexico or similar in other nations, began to sit not to vituperate but to cheer for Donald Trump. They started shouting, Donald Trump, right? Yahshua HaMashiach will reprimand all of that. And it says down there, have you ever witnessed politicians enthusiastically chant someone's name in parliament? This is exactly what just transpired in the Polish House of Representatives earlier today. Be cautious about that, but there's much more to consider, brothers. Everyone is literally falling at his feet, and it hasn't even been a full 24 hours since he won the election. Shall we continue? Saudi King, please pay attention to this. And the Crown Prince extends congratulations to Donald Trump on his electoral victory today, November 6th, 2024. There you have King Salman, along with his son, the Crown Prince, who is also the current ruler. How do you see it? Everyone surrendered at the feet of Donald Trump. Well, the video I was telling you about is titled Farce or Self-Attack. Farce or self-attack here on this channel. I had explained a lot in detail, covering several important points there. And that was impossible then. He came out with a rather ridiculous patch, and we already ministered all of that. We aren't entirely sure if this will be the first and last video where I can talk about Donald Trump, because things are getting serious, brothers. Things are heating up. Things are really heating up. Now, if you see there in the video of this Roeh from the house of Judah, he mentions October 2nd. But on August 2nd, remember to mark the date, in the year 2027, there will be a spectacular total solar eclipse that in a sense divides the Middle East region. That truly captures my attention because of the counting. Remember what I previously explained about the 70th week. The 70th week is not the current one. I was saying it like that because many Christian friends were taught that way. Until the Eternal told me, okay, say this, say that. So many get discouraged and so on. No, the 70th week occurred when Yahshua HaMashiach gave his life for us. That's very clear in Daniel chapter 9. This is not the 70th week, it is the last week. So, if we count from the covenants of Abraham which were of no use, right? Yes? Everything that happened during the eclipse on December 14th, 2020, right? Okay? The Russia-Ukraine war has driven up the prices of wheat and barley, among other things we have been ministering. So, in the year 2027, I wouldn't ever dare to claim that on that specific day, our great Lord Yahshua HaMashiach will arrive. But we are undeniably getting closer to the arrival of the King of Kings. Yes, indeed, yes. Now, with all this information, this final stretch is not going to be, it's not very long, no. I hope you fully understand, as you are quite intelligent. However, I'm uncertain if I'm expressing myself clearly. That the Bible refers to two distinct Babylons. We're going there in Revelation 17, and I'll explain the matter of the 70th week again for the love of those watching this video, and the teaching of those who will see it. So Revelation 17, right? Talks about religious Babylon, right? Okay? Talks about religious Babylon, right? Because here in verse 5 there is a mystery. It says, "And upon her forehead was a name written." Remember that Roman prostitutes often displayed names on their foreheads to indicate that they were prostitutes, so that the public would know they were prostitutes, right? And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. There is a video that I titled, The Great Harlot, the Great Harlot, the Great Harlot, the Great Harlot. Take note of it, please. Watch that video. And abominations of the earth? Well, there, all of this has already been explained, right? All of this has already been explained. The Inquisition, the Holocaust, and numerous other things. That has all been explained. And that is the religious one, the one from Revelation 17. And Revelation 18 refers to the political Babylon. You could put Pope Francis there, but clearly from what we just saw, he will speak not wonders but horrendous blasphemies. That is already in the previous final stretches. Check from the final stretch 140 to this one, okay? And on the 18th, well, let's see if the Eternal One then says, yes, this is it. I mean, Donald Trump, let the Eternal One tell us, yes, this is the anti-Messiah because of everything that is. The balance leans towards thinking that yes, because of everything we have been ministering for some time. And of course, don't forget, brothers, it's a system. It's a system. We recorded a video that we titled, The Kingdom of the Fourth Beast. It is a kingdom of the fourth beast. It is composed of half clay and half iron, which means it is half man and half artificial intelligence. For the final stretch, which is approaching, for the final stretch 149 this Friday, I am going to minister something very delicate. Please pay close attention because we are currently studying the constellations because the blood moons are on their way. Now pay attention, a lot of attention. Although this character will take power in January, there will also be a total eclipse, specifically a blood moon, to make it clearer. On March 13th to 14th, in the year 2025, that day falls on Purim, which is the festival of Purim, so to speak. I mean, when the triumph happened, well, with Queen Esther. And where does this come from? I mean, this comes from Amalek. Aren't the same Yehudim, Jews, telling him, the Messiah of Edom? That's a deeply intense situation, brothers. It's quite ugly, and things are likely to get worse. However, we rebuke that in the blessed name of Yeshua HaMashiach for every believer in Yeshua HaMashiach and a keeper of his commandments, not the ones imposed by Rome. Regrettably, when we see the inauguration in January, it will be even more ecumenical than the one held back in 2017. I saw live at Donald Trump's inauguration in 2017, and it was something. There were Catholic cardinals, Baptist priests, Presbyterians, Anglicans, Christian pastors of all kinds of denominations, etc., etc., etc. Tremendous, right? This is very intense, brothers. It was indeed expected that this character would win the elections. And well, very few are asking themselves the question because the majority is with a veil. But we must understand that they are completely blinded right now. The world is surrendering to Donald Trump, and we have already seen this in the tarot cards, haven't we? Not because I use that filth, but I mean the elite system. That's what they published in that magazine. Tremendous, right? Well, for the sake of those who haven't heard this teaching, Let's go there. So time is up. Don't spend your time waiting for the rapture of the Christian church, because that doesn't exist, but there is a rescue, okay? A Natsal, as it's called in Hebrew, right? But that specific event happens later, just before the anger. In the anger, we will no longer be present here. Those of us who have believed that the blessed blood of Yahshua HaMashiach removes all sin, and the keepers of the Torah, for he who does not keep the Torah is not saved. Faith is a deeply obedient faith. Emunah means faith in Hebrew, but it also signifies believing, trusting, and obeying. So, let's go to Daniel 9, and we will explain it out of love for the newcomers or anyone who didn't quite understand it fully. So week 70 is not right now. I have been saying that for a long time. But no, it's not right now. No, that already happened 2,000 years ago, like when I talked about the temple. When I spoke about the temple, many said, but how is it possible that Roeh Palacios is saying that? It's just that regarding the temple, when it says in Matthew 24 that not one stone will be left upon another and that the abomination of desolation, right? That's what Tito did. He placed his eagle images and his military standards there in the temple, and it's logical that it incited the Jewish people. Well, that's already explained in the previous final stretches. Please take a look at them. So Daniel chapter 9 verse 24. The vision that he gave to Daniel the prophet, 70 weeks, 70 weeks, are determined upon thy people Israel and upon thy holy city Jerusalem to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity through Yeshua HaMashiach, expiation he paid, and to bring in everlasting righteousness through the one perfect and eternal unique sacrifice, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. This does not refer to the holiest place in the temple. 3 times holy is Yahweh, who is Yahshua HaMashiach. So he was anointed, correct? So to speak, to Yahshua. When he received baptism, the Tebilah of John, John the Baptist, and the Ruach HaKodesh descended upon him. There is the anointing, right? Okay? Therefore later Yahshua, when reading the Haftarah, says, the Spirit of Yahweh is upon me. Do you realize? Yes? Well, it states here, 25, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment by King Artaxerxes to restore and to build Jerusalem, specifically the second temple, unto the Messiah the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. That makes a total of 69 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. I already explained that in other teachings there was. The house of Judah was in the process of rebuilding, and the house of Israel approached them to wage war against them, attempting to prevent the temple from being rebuilt. Just imagine that. Therefore the house of Israel was scattered. Well, 26, and after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, Yahshua HaMashiach, but not for himself. That is to say, he gave his life for us. And the people, Roman people, of the prince, Titus, the son of Vespasian, right? Titus, that shall come, shall destroy the city, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, and the sanctuary, that is the temple, the Bet Hamikdash, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. Which war? The Jewish war. The first Jewish rebellion occurred 66 years after Yahshua's time, correct? To 74 after Yahshua. Pay close attention to how it says 27, so that makes 69 weeks. The verse 27, the week 70. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. In the Hebrew Bible it states Behu, while in the King James Bible it mentions and he. And he, who, Yahshua, is not the Antichrist or the Anti-Messiah, right? And for 1 week and he, Yahshua, shall confirm the Abrahamic covenant with many. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. In the middle of the week he gave his life for us on the crossbeam, and there ended all offering, all sacrifice. It's not what they taught you, that the Antichrist would come and remove the priests, sending them from there. That also happened with Antiochus Epiphanes, but that's another chapter. This statement refers to the period of Yeshua, not to that of Antiochus Epiphanes. Although many Bibles refer you to Daniel 11:31, where it speaks of Antiochus Epiphanes, that's not it, right? Then it states, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. After that after how much time? 40 long years passed, as Jerusalem and the temple were destroyed in the year 70. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, Titus, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Brothers, this is not the 70th week, friends. This is not the 70th week. Rather, this is the last week. We have only a couple more years left. Today, before our eyes, on November 6, 2024, we are broadcasting live. It's 20 minutes to 7 in the evening. Tremendous prophecies are being fulfilled, and I repeat, dear brothers and friends, if in less than a mere 24 hours after winning the elections, several strong changes have already begun in the world, especially in Israel, which is planning to withdraw from Lebanon, what events will transpire tomorrow? The day after tomorrow. That's going to come quickly. Have you regretted it yet? I advise you to regret it. That's why download the magazine, and there's the QR code. Seek your salvation quickly. Scatological magazine as well. All of recent times. We have a few years remaining. Don't wait for the rapture, and then for the Antichrist, the anti-Messiah. He is already here. And that's what's happening right now. Watch that video. It's here now. Francisco is Gog and Magog, and Gog and Magog, although he has them in his surnames, it is a title like that of the Caesar. Caesar Augustus, etc., etc. I mean to say, it's a title just like the Aries. Tremendous. We have practically reached the end. Are we ready? Well, for Yeshua to come, we will never be sufficiently prepared. It is only by His grace that we will go with Him, for He promised, by His immense compassion, blessed be His name, to come for us before the wrath. In John 14, verses 1 to 3, it is stated that I will come back for you so that where I am you may also be. 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 10. Wait for Yeshua to save us from the coming wrath. This situation is going to get very ugly. But well, first of all, the Eternal One, and if the Eternal gives the opportunity to continue ministering these topics here, I will remain here with the broadcasting team. May the Eternal bless you and keep you. We are going to say goodbye now. Raise your hands just like that, without Hallel, without anything, so you can reflect on how the situation is now. Yevareheha Adonai Yahweh. Beshmereja Adonai Yahweh. Panabeleha vihuniha Isa Adonai Yahweh. Panabeleha vihuniha ve'Hashem leha Shalom. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee Shalom. In the blessed and powerful name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Omen be Omen. What must be done? Repent of sins. Mark 1:15. Turn away from sin. Proverbs 28:13. Keep the Torah. Hebrews 5:9. For Yeshua is the author of eternal salvation for all who obey him. Perform the covenant of Brit Milah, but prior to that the Tevilah, which is the baptism in the name of Yeshua. Like this, and not like this. It should not merely be a small splash on the head. That doesn't work. Instead, it must be done this way. This is how the Tevilah was performed by John the Baptist according to ancient writings. There, it is how it was done. Brit Milah, the covenant of circumcision, the covenant of the word, there is very little time left. May the Eternal bless you and keep you and take heart. This is not meant to instill fear, but to be total saints without wavering. Soon, if the Eternal grants me the life, I will be ministering several very profound topics. You need to be prepared to hear them. May the Eternal bless you and keep you. Shalom, see you soon.